Hello and welcome back to SparkleDart. Today I'm going to talk about something that really grinds my gears, like from the Family Guy. You like that show? It's a good show. Actually, I'm gonna segue off of what I was going to talk about so I can talk about Seth MacFarlane for a little bit. So I've never been a fan of Seth MacFarlane's works. It's lame to say, but I'm pretty big into animation. I love animation. I don't necessarily like watching cartoons. I just like animation because it's really nice and it's really good looking. And when you do it and you do it well, it's so easy to appreciate. And here's something I've always thought about is that I feel like people don't understand how hard animation really is. And they just kind of take for granted Disney films and stuff like that because, if they're poorly animated. Now, I'm not going to say that Don Bluth is a bad animator or anything, but a lot of his cartoon characters are very poor, I don't want to say even poorly animated. But they lack that sort of finesse that Disney gives their characters. And so go watch We're Back or A Troll in Central Park, or the most Don Bluth of the Disney films is probably Oliver and Company, where the dog's singing, "Why should I worry? Why should I care?" It sounds like Fat Albert, but that's fine. It's actually Billy Joel who's singing that song. And even though they got Billy Joel to voice the dog, he only he only sings one song. You'd think that probably one of the best adult contemporary musicians of all time could sing more than one song, but maybe he was looking for royalties. Maybe he was down on his luck. His wife left him, took the kid and the bravada, and just kind of took off. And now he's left all alone. He's got to make royalties, so he wants Disney to pay him more. And he's like, "Disney, can you just pay me a little bit more? Just not even that much, just a little bit. I'm not looking for. I'm just looking for peanuts here, like table scraps." And then he's like, Disney's like, "Well, what did you have in mind, Billy Joel?" And Billy Joel's like, I was just hoping you could give me, I don't know, $50,000? Like, $50,000? Really? You think you're gonna get that much? That was a modest estimate. I'm sure Disney paid him way more for that movie. Anyways, Billy Joel, he's like, just a little bit more. I've got some mortgages to pay. I've got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. So there ain't no rest for the wicked, and money don't grow on trees. Oh, I fucked up. I fucked up hard, man. I fucked up. I don't know. That's just what I think. Going back to animation. So I was talking about how I like animation and how people don't really respect it because they don't know how hard it is to do. I've done a little bit of animation. I might upload something to this channel at some point. That remains to be seen. I cannot promise anything. Do not hold me to what I just said. But I might do it at some point. There's a project that I want to work on for this channel, and I might start working on it later tonight. We'll see. Unless the game's on, I gotta kick off my shoes after a long day. Playing Let's Plays and being a huge fucking retard all day long. By the way, I'm allowed to say the word retard because I'm a retard, right? It's like when you can say the N-word because you're an N-word. You can say you're a retarded N-word if you're a retarded N-word, or any combination of those two things. It doesn't have to be those specifically. That was just a thought. It was a thought experiment that I had. I made a joke in Crash Bandicoot where I kept saying that I was half... first I think I said I was half black, and then I said I was half Mexican, and then I said I was half Spanish or something. I don't know. And that episode might not go out before this one does. I'm not sure about that. But just so you know, I think it's funny to be offensive, but it's important to be tastefully offensive. And I'd like to think that I found a good balance, specifically with that, because I think that was just a funny joke. And if you don't think that's a funny joke, dial that was not a funny joke to 565-212, and I'll send you a free ringtone. I'll send you a free subscription to my newsletter. And you can show off this gif of Spider-Man dancing to your friends on your Nokia 17 and in junior high, and then they'll be like, "Wow, that's so cool. How can I get that on my phone?" I'm like, "You can't. I paid for this. I can't. I'm not just going to give it to you. If you really want this, you can pay for it. But I'm not going to just give it to you because I'm not that kind of guy. I respect you. You're my friend, and if you wanna get some people to come over to the table at lunch, What stupid thing am I saying? I don't even remember. If you want to get some people to come over to the table at lunch and look at the Spider-Man GIF, I'll be glad to show them. I've also got some other cool things on here. I've got Ally McBeal. I've got Crazy Frog. He's going, he's like singing, what does Crazy Frog sing? Does he sing that song? Do 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 ba 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 ba. What is that? The safety dance? Fucking. Was I talking about clowns in the last episode? Why was I doing that? You know, okay, here's something that I keep doing that it upsets me, so I can't even imagine how frustrating it must be for people listening to this god-awful nonsense drivel that I keep spewing. I was talking about how I guess I'll explain why I do this. So I like having legitimate conversations and talking about things, you know, like real topics, real information, stuff that you can interject in on, but I'm also just talking to myself, right? So you're just listening to me saying things. Saying my own thoughts and opinions. Now, if I had a co-host, we could be playing off of each other and like kind of building off each other's point of view. But I don't have a co-host, so I don't do that. So to make the show more interesting, I try to do some improv joke stuff. But when I do the improv joke stuff, I forget what I was saying in the first place, and then I just kind of like ramble on about fucking nothing. I said the first thing I said when I started this episode was that I wanted to talk about Seth MacFarlane. I haven't done that yet. That was like 7 minutes ago. So just so you know, that's what that is. If I start saying something that you think might be interesting, but then I don't continue that thought, it's not because I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's because I'm stupid. That's why. That's the only reason. So let's go back to... Oh yeah, I try to do a lot of exposition too, because I feel like it's really annoying when people just sit there and like talk about fucking nothing for 5 minutes, and they just talk about the game that they're playing, which is fine. You know, it's not a big deal. There's a lot to be said about Spyro the Dragon. I might touch into it later, but I'm not going to do that right now. There's a chest over there. I'll come get it later. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot to be said about Spyro the Dragon. But I'm going to talk about what I was going to talk about earlier. Like, Family Guy is a show that I used to think was funny, but it's just kind of unbearable to watch now. One of the most recent episodes I saw had Chris dating Taylor Swift, and there really weren't any jokes in the episode. The joke was that all of Taylor Swift's songs are about her ex-boyfriends. And I think the plot, the idea was that she dates horrible people. She dates just horrible, scummy people so that she can write songs about them and share them with the internet on her Roblox account. And I'm like, okay, I get it. That's really the joke of the whole episode. You didn't want to expand on that anymore. Maybe tell some real jokes. Some jokes that would work if Taylor Swift wasn't in this episode. No, not interested. Okay, that's fine. So I used to think Family Guy was kind of funny back before it got canceled for the first time. I like the episode where they go to the South because they get relocated by Witness Program. And I thought that had some pretty good jokes in it. But they don't really do that anymore. Everything is like just horrible, like they're just mean. They're mean-spirited jokes. And the characters just keep fucking wailing on each other the whole time. It's really upsetting. Like, I don't understand why people think this is funny, but they do, so they keep making this garbage. And it's like, you know, it's whatever. It sells, obviously, so I can't rag too hard on it, but I just don't think it's funny. And it's weird when people say that they like that stuff to me, because I spend so much of my time surrounding myself by people who have similar senses of humor, which does not include Family Guy anymore. But I hear people say things like, "Oh man, I'm so excited! I'm so ready to go see that new movie coming out, Sausage Party." I'm like, really? You're excited to see Sausage Party of all fucking movies? And they're like, "Oh yeah, it looks so funny. I love Seth Rogen." And I'm like, you know, he was good in Pineapple Express. He was good in Shrek, where he played the donkey and Shrek. He played both characters. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. He was good in what else was he in? Fucking what's that movie where he's hanging out with Jason Segel? Is that That might have been Paul Rudd. No, I don't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not important. But people, you know, it's not my place to say what's funny and what's not funny because I'm no authority on comedy. I'd like to think that I've got a pretty good compass when it comes to comedy. Again, I don't want to sound too, like, up my own ass here, but there are, like, the things that I think are funny, I think are really funny, and then the things that I think aren't funny, I think are just horrible and upsetting and even downright cringeworthy. Which isn't to say that cringe stuff is bad, because I think cringe stuff is funnier than, like, Family Guy or Sausage Party. I would rather laugh at that. And I'm allowed to, because there's a lot of stuff like that on YouTube that I can find and go look up and be like, oh, that's so good. There's one video that I really like of some emo-looking kid. He's like in a forest or something. He's standing next to a cornfield is what he's doing. And he's talking about some kid who bullies him, Josh. He's like, oh, I walk into class late, and then Josh is like, hey, everybody, it's Edward Scissorhands. And then he's like, I'm not fucking Edward Scissorhands. He's like, calm down, Kung Fu Panda. And I'm like, I'm not fucking Kung Fu Panda. Fuck you, Josh. It's really funny. But the more I watch that video, the more I suspect that it might be fake. And that's one thing that bothers me about those cringe videos, is that some of the stuff isn't really cringy. But moreover, it's stuff that people are doing as jokes that are being called cringe. Like, if somebody was behaving the way people were... If a person was really behaving the way that these people in these cringe videos were behaving, then yes, it would be cringy. But sometimes you can kind of tell that it's just a joke, you know? You can tell that it's not someone legitimately behaving this way. And that takes me out of it a little bit. But it's, you know, it's whatever. I'm not going to, like, knock that stuff. I wouldn't recommend you watch cringe videos because it's really not entertaining. It's entertaining in a way that you're like, you feel bad in your soul. Your soul feels bad. So, all right. So you feel bad for these people, which is, you know, it's fine or whatever. But I don't know. I can't pinpoint why exactly people find that sort of thing so amusing, because it's amusing just because it's just so horrible. Anyways, going off of that, SparkleDart, I didn't talk about any of the things I wanted to talk about. I just explained why I never talk about those things. So, thanks for watching, SparkleDart. Goodbye. Mwah.